Winter makeup trends that you're going to actually want to wear. Let's get into it. One of the biggest things is your skin and the base and how that differs from summer types of skin and base foundation products, just trends on how we like our skin to look. In the wintertime, you kind of wear a little bit more coverage, a little bit more perfected skin, a bit more blurred and velvety matte type skin textures, as opposed to the summertime. It's a little bit, you know, wanting that fresh, see-through, barely made up type of skin sometimes, but the winter time is the time for more glam and like full looks type of makeup. You know, Christmas events, parties happening. I'm going to one tonight. That's the kind of mindset we are in with the bases. So some bases that are really nice for this is the Huda Beauty Easy Blur foundation, as well as the Charlotte Tilbury one. It's really nice as well. They're both like a full coverage, giving you a really nice blur to the skin. What I have on my skin today is the NATASHA DENONA new foundation. This is the Hy-Glam foundation, hydrating, blurring, Longwear radiant serum foundation. There will be my thoughts and a demonstration on this on the channel as well if it's not already up on my shorts. So make sure you go have a look for that. And I also have the concealer on as well, just because I thought they are kind of like designed to be together. Now, this says it has blurring in the description here, but I wouldn't call this a blurring foundation at all because it is radiant, serum, and hydrating. And generally with the blurring type foundations, you would be looking for a texture that's a little bit more like velvet or almost leaning on a matte foundation. That's how you get a blurring look to the skin. Shine, hydration, radiance is going to enhance the radiance, the texture. You know, you will see texture more, and that's not what blurring inherently is. I've also sprayed on top of it though to give it more of a blur or more of a setting aspect to it is the Charlotte Tilbury, the new Blur Matte Setting Spray. Love this to pieces. Really nice, because I don't find that this foundation really has like a setting. It's not all that long lasting, but it's really beautiful in the skin. Gives a lovely medium coverage. You can build it up really well. If you wanted, you could sheer it out. It's very thin, serum-like. It's definitely true to that, but I wouldn't call it blurring, but it is hydrating and radiant on the skin. So how would you make this foundation to be a little bit more blurring and winter velvet matte skin effect? This new powder that I have from Kosas is going to give you exactly that. This is the Kosas Candy Cloud Set pressed powder. They also have these in loose powder as well. And this is the candy color. So it's like a pink brightening color, and it really gives a velvety finish to the skin. A lot of powders do. There's some really beautiful new ones on the market. The Huda Beauty one really blurs the skin so nice, but I find this one is so stunning. And so that's going to give us cloud velvet matte skin. So definitely blend out any creases that may have formed under your eyes. And press this on top of your skin. I'll do one side to show you. We can get a close up. Okay, have a look closely at the side. The kind of blur that we have in the center of the face, taking away the look of like the pores and the shine and radiance, but leaving like the outskirts of the face. And the other side, specifically like here and under my eye, where you can still see like texture and it just looks less perfected. Also here is still shiny, if you can see. And then this one where we've just put the Kosas powder to really help knock that back. And it will set the makeup and make it last so much longer. So blurring velvet skin is It's all the rage for the winter time. So I just put a little bit of mascara on. Not really any trend to talk about mascara in my thoughts. This is the Tarte Tubing Mascara. Love that. Now, lips. The colors that we kind of lean towards in the winter time and the texture that we are embracing right now is a blurred berry lip. Blurred red, blurred berry, just a blurred matte cloud-like lip. Very similar to the skin texture. Red wine. So Korean products and Korean brands have been doing this kind of blurred, soft, velvety lip for actually a few seasons now. And I have some products from them and I will show you. This one is like maybe the OG of the blurred lip and cheek kind of product. This is from Few and this is the shade Baby. So I'm not going to put this one on today because I don't believe it to be the right shade for this winter trend. It's not that berry wine color. It's a gorgeous like happy pink color. And this is like a mousse. You can see. And it gives like just a beautiful blurred, really, really like soft texture on the lips. Not like hydrating. There it is there. Not hydrating, but a very blurred, velvety finish on the lips. They're not long lasting, but they don't have that setting, dry down kind of texture as like the old fashioned liquid lipsticks. So this is another one that is also great. This is Jang Sung-mule, a Korean brand, and this is also a velvety lip product. It goes on a bit more like liquidy, a bit more shiny, but it dries down into a velvet. This color is also a little bit peachy. Now this one I picked up when I was in China. This is from Josie, Chinese brand. I actually just really love the packaging because it's like leopard print, and also the name really confused me. It's called Fluffy Matte Lip Gloss, which lip gloss and matte really can't really be in the same sentence in my opinion, but they've done it. And this is like the exact texture that is popular right now. Very similar to the Few one, but the color is not really the color I want today. This is so pigmented and it's very rust color, but really, really matte and creamy. But it doesn't have that set down like an old-fashioned like liquid lipstick. So they won't be so drying, but they give you that matte, blurred, perfected look on the lip, but strong colors. So I will link those down below as well as other ones. We've got ones like from Maybelline, Romand, YSL even are doing like all these blurred, textured, soft cloud-like texture for the lips, and that's like really leans into like winter feelings. But to get that, if you don't want to actually buy a product, you can do it quite similar with a lip liner, not as full and cloud-like, but we can still get that blurred look. And so this lip liner that I got recently from Saie is the shade Twist, and this is quite a like mauvey nude color, so it does give us that berry effect, and we will blur it in with a brush. So let's put this on the lips. So I've created the shape there, put a nice thick layer, and I'm actually gonna do it all over the rest of the lips, just to continue with that kind of matte feeling. And my lips were very well hydrated. I had a lip balm on them, a lip serum that I patted off just before I started this. So when you're putting your lip liner all over your lips, really make sure your lips are hydrated. This is like exactly that wintry shade. So I'm going to grab a small brush like this, a real detail brush, and just go along the edges to further diffuse the edge of the lip. And if you felt like you lost the intensity of the top, just go in again, just before that blurred part. So the blur kind of acts as like a shadow behind the top lip. I feel like my lips are hydrated enough to leave it like this, but if you do want a little bit more, find like a balm or a lipstick of a similar color just to give you a little bit more coverage. I'm going to use this one. This is the lip plump. It's maybe a bit shiny. This is the shade Honeysuckle. I got this recently. This is Tarte Plumping, that coconutty smelling little lip trio, and this is a good color for it. Just to give a bit of hydration, but not too much gloss. You could definitely layer it up and get more gloss out of it, but you want to avoid going in with like a full lip gloss. More of like a texture like this, a balm that offers some hydration but not too much gloss. Nice. That is a wintry shade, wine berry type of very wintry lip. Now we need some color on the rest of the face to bring it all together. When we're speaking about color on the rest of the face, you definitely stay away from like really warm, yellowy, orangey toned bronzers. That's for the summertime. When you're thinking about bronzers in the winter time, definitely try to go a little bit more towards cooler tone bronzers if you have options to pick from at home, or even just pure contours that will kind of like go a bit better with your like more winter color of your skin and you know, lighter skin tone than what you normally have in the summertime. Great one that I love is this one from Rare Beauty that I've been using a fair bit, because this is meant to be a contour, but it kind of is a bronzer, but a very like cool tone, not too warm and yellow type bronzer. So this is really great, and also like it's a liquid, so that's really nice for the winter time when your skin is a little bit drier and things will just last a little bit better on the skin. So I'm just going to dab a little bit of that, but really not too much in the winter time in terms of bronzing, but you may feel like you want to, because you know, you might have gone in a little bit more the base, your foundation, and feel a bit blanket color, like one color with putting your foundation on, a bit heavier than what you're used to in the summertime. So a little bit of bronzer or soft contour like this is a great option, just to add a bit of dimension and sculpt back into your face. But it's not about, like, it's not focusing on the bronzer. Nice. Okay, blush. What tones are we going to be using for blush? You really want to think a little bit more berry tones, just like the lips as well. So staying away from like oranges and apricot type tones. Those are our summer favorites, but in the winter time, we're going to go with more neutral berry blushes, maybe like rosy, cool rosy tones, and of course like that really icy pink as well that the Kardashians have been doing a lot lately. Think about like that classic Dior really bright baby pink blush. That's a beautiful topper, and at the back you want a little bit darker blush. So this palette that I have from NARS is their holiday collection, and this is the New Realm Ethereal Aura Blush palette, and this has some fantastic shades for like winter time. They have two palettes. They have a lighter version and a darker one, and boy is this one intense. This would be great for deeper skin tones as well. So this is what we're going to want. So I'm actually going to use, so we have mattes on this side and shimmers on this side. Kind of can think of them as like blush and then blush toppers, or like, you know, there's no rules. So many of these will be beautiful eyeshadows as well. You can kind of think of it also as like sculpting blush, color blush, tops of the cheek, front of the cheek, pop blush. You could kind of blend all three, but be very careful because they're quite pigmented. So I'm going to grab a little bit of this one here, and because the pigment of these definitely pre-blend it into the brush, you don't want to go straight from there to there and then have like a big stamp of odd shape that you need to then blend out. So putting this one a little bit further back as like our sculpting blush. It's almost like a bronzery blush. Okay, this would be really nice just also here and across the nose, just to bring it all around our face. Definitely consider more patting motions to avoid moving around our foundation and concealer. Okay, so we have a little bit of a sculpt happening there with that blush on the end, because this side is plain. Let's go in with that bright one. Okay, pre-blend it into the brush, and it's pretty intense straight away, so let's knock a bit more of that off and just pat around it to blur out. Wow, she's blushing. You could take your bronzer blush or a clean brush and kind of just go over it again to like knock back some of it. Very pretty wintry type pink. I'm going to just try a smidgen of this bright one just in front of it. Okay, that's enough. So that's giving us this like pretty icy pinky winter that goes nicely with this lip tone and isn't a summer blush, it's more of a winter blush. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Here we are, winter blushed up. I hope you can see it nicely on camera, because in person it is popping. This is an extreme palette if you are looking for some really, really serious blush action. This is going to last you forever because it's so pigmented and so intense, the colors. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of use out of this. So pretty to be popped on top, these ones as well, but I'm keeping the skin a little bit like velvety matte type of winter tones, but also really, really gorgeous complementary shimmers, and they are actually quite pigmented, so you can use them just as like a blush as well. You don't need to layer both of them. So much fun can be had with this palette, and the lighter shade as well. Now, I'm not doing my eyes. You guys know me now. I don't really do a lot of eyeshadows on my eyes, but to think about the tones that you were going to be putting on your eyes for wintertime, staying away from warm tones and moving into like jewel tones, very luxurious emeralds and green and like just very shimmery, rich, lush tones, and you can get some of those in this new palette that I got. I will do a video on this palette, using this palette, but not today, and then this will eventually go into my makeup kit. So definitely like these green shades will be so beautiful in winter time with the more neutral colors. Like today I have enough colors going on, I feel like, with the berry tones that we went with, but if you were being a little bit more subtle, then with the other elements of your face, these greens will be really beautiful. Actually, this one you could probably do okay with this makeup look because it's in that berry shade. Those are some of the colors there, the jewel tone. So that green is just gorgeous. Give a little swatch as well. Yeah, they're quite subtle actually, but they're the kind of tones and direction that would be really pretty for winter trends, color palettes that are, you know, leading more for winter 2025. Okay, that is it. I think that is the makeup look today. Some different things we discussed that you want to think about and chat about for winter. But before we head off, definitely a few like practical tips to think about for the winter months and the makeup and your bases. You really want to start to add in a little bit more hydration into your skincare, especially at nighttime. Often in the summer, I say you can skip your moisturizer and just go straight to your sunscreen in the day. This is not that time. You want to really nourish and find products that feel like a cashmere blanket on your skin that really give you hydration. I recently actually got, from a Charlotte Tilbury event, I went to the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, and I feel like I've tried maybe only a small sample of that before, but I now have a full-size pot, and boy, is that is a beautiful cream for daytime for makeup in the winter. It just gives you like really nice skin to start with your makeup. Probably wildly overpriced for what it is, but if budget isn't a problem for you, it is lovely cream. An alternative to that is also a really beautiful cream that gives you a really nice hydrated canvas is the First Aid Beauty Recovery Cream. It comes in a big pot. You can get it in smaller sizes. Oh, this one. The Ultra Repair Cream from First Aid Beauty. This is a little size of it, but this one, similar, it's really nice and comforting and hydrating and just helps your sensitive skin if you have it, but much more affordable than the Charlotte Tilbury one. This would be really nice for winter time as your like last step of your skincare routine before your sunscreen. Sunscreens, you could also just start thinking about more hydrating, nourishing ones as well to prep your skin before makeup. But but don't forget to still exfoliate even in the winter time. You may not think about like that your skin needs exfoliation, but don't completely cut it out of your skincare routine, because if you do, then you're not getting those dead layers of skin off, and then your hydrating serums and essences won't be able to go into your skin and hydrate it deeply. That's a problem you can run into in the wintertime. You just think add hydration, but if you're not actually like exfoliating as well as the hydration, then you could run into more dehydrated skin, and we wouldn't want that. So thank you for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed and you got a few little bits of inspiration from this video, and consider subscribing to the channel. Obviously, I would really love that. My newsletter Substack link is going to be linked down below as well, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye.